responses may be given during the governing body's comments later in the meeting and as directed by the chair. Have anyone wishing to give us public comment, either in our audience or on the phone? Second call for public comment. And third call for public comment. Not seeing or hearing anyone, we will close public comment, and we will move into the advertised public hearing for final consideration of ordinances. And I turn it over to Councilwoman Judy Cusick.
Thank you very much, Council President. This is the final ordinance number 01-2023. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Chapter 19 of the Code of the Borough of Ramsey, Bergen County, New Jersey, and more specifically subsection 19-2.1 thereof entitled Fees for Water's Usage, having been brought up for public hearing, and all persons interested having been given an opportunity to be heard, pass final reading by title, and that said ordinance be adopted as an ordinance of the Borough of Ramsey, and be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and she hereby is directed to cause a copy of the title of said ordinance to be published in an official newspaper of the Borough in the manner provided by law, together with a notice of the date of introduction and adoption of said ordinance.
Councilwoman, do you have any comment on that ordinance?
I do. And thank you to Administrator Bose for his support too. Over the last 10 years, 2014 through 2023, the Board of Public Works has not raised water and sewer rates in 5 of those years and only increased rates since 2019. The other 5 years of the last 10, the rate increases were under 2% for a 10-year average annual rate increase of 0.91% or less than 1% a year. Due to inflationary operating cost increases and increased regulatory costs, the Board of Public Works at their January meeting passed a resolution to adopt a 3.91% water rate increase, and a 3.96% sewer rate increase effective for 2024. The water rate changes are confirmed and enacted by an ordinance of the Mayor and Council, us, while the sewer rate charges and changes are confirmed and enacted by resolution of the Mayor and Council, us. This ordinance is on tonight's agenda, and there will be a vote on adoption for the water rate increase and the sewer rate increase. It's Resolution 52 on tonight's agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Anyone else on the dais have a comment about this ordinance? Not seeing any. We will now open this up for public hearing. We will ask 3 times. If anyone has a comment or would like to speak about this particular ordinance, you are now free to do so. And before anyone speaks on that, would we have a second for that particular ordinance?
I will second that.
Thank you, Councilman Gutwetter. My apologies.
Okay.
Once again, we will open it up to
Remind you at
public.
some point.
We will open it up to public hearing. Something happens when you get older. And we'll make one more first call for anyone who wants to make a comment or voice an opinion on during this public hearing time. Second call for anyone to speak during the public hearing on this particular ordinance. And third time for public hearing on ordinance 01-2024. Not hearing anyone, we will close the public hearing and have a roll call vote. Please, Meredith?
Ready? Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Popolo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
For appointments, I now turn it over to Madam Mayor, Deirdre
Thank
Dillon.
you. I hereby make the following appointments: Mary Ann Carey to Design Review Board, alternate 2, and Craig Chichiara to the Board of Public Works. And Mary Ann, after the resolutions are done, as they'll ratify your appointment, I'll swear you in.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Moving on to the consent resolutions, I turn it over to Councilman Michael Gutwetter.
Thank you, Council President Kilman. Be it resolved that resolutions 046, 2024 through and including 058, 2024, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Ramsey, be and are hereby passed and approved. We have some special permit requests this evening. The Venetti Dentist Group is requesting permission to hold their annual townwide garage sale on Saturday, May 4th, 2024, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. with conditions. Shannon Rose is requesting permission to use the McFarland Field parking lot for employee parking March 15th to March 18th, 2024 for their annual St. Patrick's Day events. Shannon Rose is requesting permission to hold a special St. Patrick's Day event from March 13th to March 18th, including an enclosed patio with sides and doors. And the Women's Club of Ramsey is requesting permission to hold their annual tomato and vegetable sale on May 18th, 2024 at the Masonic Lodge parking lot and to post signs around town advertising the sale. There are no block party requests this evening.
I would like to second that.
Yes, I do have one question about this. On my agenda, it says we've changed that to 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Minetti Group. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, mine says 2 to 4. I just wanted to make sure I note that.
No,
Do
no.
I have an old one?
Yeah,
9 to 4.
So it's 9 to 2.
yeah,
Nine
it was
to
9
two.
to, it was 9
9
to
to 2 with
2.
conditions.
9 to 2 with conditions.
With conditions.
Okay, all right. Make sure of that.
9 to 2, okay.
Yeah.
And
Thank
they're
you.
With conditions.
With conditions. Thank you, Madam Mayor. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilwoman Cusick?
Yes.
Councilman Gutwetter?
Yes.
Councilman Kilman?
Yes.
Councilman Papalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Poppy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Swear Mary in. Mrs. Carey?
In front of the camera,
In the middle.
and the YouTube camera. Marianne's a big star now.
Further solemnly swear. I do further. I will support the Constitution. Of the State of New Jersey. And that I will bear true faith and allegiance. To the same. And to the governments established. In the United States. And in this state. Under the authority of the people. So help me God. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So you get to fill out the right side.
Pen?
Ooh, is this turned off?
Joe has one, you can use mine.
And then just change it to, Meredith.
Yep. Okay, you are, yes, this is you. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, we now move to committee and liaison reports. Finance and Administration, Councilman Michael Gutwetter.
Thank you again, Council President Kilman. I'll start off by congratulating and thanking Marianne and Craig for their appointments as listed tonight, and thank them for their service to the borough. For the library board, they met this a couple nights ago, Monday night. The HVAC project continues and is expected to finish in mid to late March. If all goes well, the staff has worked through
Perfect, thank you
this
so much.
construction with minimal delays or interferences. Winterfest was a big success held in late January with over 600 people in attendance. The Magic of Salazar, a magic show for kids and parents, was held at the community center, and Lunar New Year will run there later this month at the community center. A video tournament for teens was recently held, and a preschool program for children ages 3 to 6 has begun in January. The Museum Pass program has expanded with numerous museums added to the passes. The library director, Latham, presented his 2023 annual report of library activities at the last meeting. All large-scale events had an increase in attendance over the prior years. There were numerous events and classes added in 2023 for adults, teens, and children. Other events such as virtual programs, take-home crafts, author visits, and outreach to the Ramsey schools were all quite successful. Summer reading programs saw big increases in participation and total minutes read, and lastly, circulation was very successful. New services added were poster printing, laptop lending, replacement of internet, mobile hotspots, and one-on-one tech assistance. The Rec Commission, the winter sports will be wrapping up their seasons next month, and spring sports registrations are underway, as well as for adult softball. Check the Rec website for registration details on Civic Rec. The Easter egg hunt with the Rec Commission, partnering with the Ramsey Fire Department, will be held on Saturday, March 23rd. For the farmers market, the market is open Sundays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop by and visit the vendors. The hours will expand in the spring. Upcoming events, February 25th is a winter celebration hosted by the Women's Club of Ramsey. April 7th is a secondhand toy collection drop-off. That concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Councilman. Public safety, that's my report, and I have two items this evening. First, I would like to congratulate Mrs. Carey on her appointment to the Design Review Board, and Craig Cicciaro, thank you, Madam Mayor, to the Board of Public Works. Public safety. At our past mayor and council meetings, we provided regular updates on the progress of the new fire department, rescue squad, and OAM station house project that will replace a 70-year-old outdated structure on South Island Road. The goal of this capital project is to build a first-rate emergency services complex that will serve Ramsey for many generations to come. On February 6th at 7:30, members of the Ramsey Emergency Services Complex Development Committee, the Colliers Engineering Firm, and Netta Architects presented the current development design and thinking to the Ramsey Planning Board. It was a well-attended, instructive, and informative presentation, and as a result, the Planning Board offered some constructive input, which will be incorporated into the development plan as it moves forward. We have set up a page on the Borough website for this project under the community heading on the landing page, and it's featured on the left column sidebar. The folder is titled Fire Rescue OEM Building Project, where anyone who is interested in can find plans and pertinent information as it becomes finalized. Or you may find it simply by typing in folders in the search bar and it will be listed. In the future, we will set a date for this same group to present the updated Emergency Services Complex Development Plan to the Mayor and Council, and of course, open to the public. More to come on this in the weeks ahead. Now on deer population management. I've reported on this before, but a portion of that report bears repeating. On January 13th at the Bergen County Mayoral Meeting, the topic deer-human conflict was discussed from Ramsey Councilwoman, let me start that sentence again. From Ramsey, Councilwoman Sarah Poppy, Board of Health member Dr. Chris Haas, Police Chief Lyman, Borough Administrator Bruce Fozé, and I joined Mayor Dillon to attend the New Jersey Department of Fish and Wildlife presentation on their research, which covered a 10-year period and their current thinking on deer population management. It was an eye-opening presentation, and I covered much of that detail at our last mayor and council meeting. For the past several years, Mayor Dillon has regularly brought this topic up at mayoral meetings in Bergen County. It's a sensitive topic, and today the voices of many residents have grown increasingly concerned, requesting municipalities to implement an effective deer management process to protect home ornamentation, gardens, fear of diseases carried by ticks, deer overcrowding sickness and disease, and there are reports of deer, unafraid of humans, becoming antagonistic to people and dogs on a homeowner's property. Not to mention the loss in revenue and product of local commercial nurseries decimated by the hungry deer. As a result, Mayor Dillon has asked me to assist Dr. Chris Haas from the Ramsey Board of Health, who is spearheading this effort with the goal of developing a workable approach that could commence as early as this autumn. As you might imagine, there are many moving parts to this plan. It's not impossible. Saddle River implemented a plan that ran 3 years, which made a measurable difference in reducing the deer population. Mayor Dillon continues to meet with Bergen County mayors to encourage neighboring municipalities to join us in this effort. The fact is, those mayors are also hearing from their residents about the need to implement a workable solution to the growing deer population. And there will be more to come on this topic in future meetings. That is my report. And now, moving on to building, planning, and zoning, Councilwoman Jane Woods.
Thank you, Council President. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Congratulations to Mary Ann Carey and Craig Chikari on their appointment to the Design Review Board and Board of Public Works respectively. We appreciate your service. Congratulations to Sean Till on securing a full-time position with the Ramsey DPW. And congratulations to Kelly Sylvester on her appointment as the Board of Health Secretary. The Design Review Board. The Design Review Board will meet next Tuesday, February 27th. There have not been any applications for the last 2 months. The Senior Trustees Board. The Ramsey Seniors Trustee meeting was held February 8th. They continue to run a full schedule of activities. Please visit the Senior Center section of the borough's website at ramseynj.com for a complete list and how to connect. There's a trip to the Ridgewood Symphony for a concert on February 28th. They provided lunch to the DPW on February 2nd as a thank you for all that they do for them. Most recently, they added a coat rack and utility rack in the storage closet at the community center. Biagio was selected as the venue for the senior holiday lunch, which is scheduled for December 3rd, 2024. There is a book event with a baseball author scheduled for April 5th from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. They plan on having a hot dog truck and Cracker Jack. Art classes have been added to the schedule and are very well attended. They're also adding line dancing. You guys just mentioned the Borough Easter egg hunt is scheduled for March 23rd. The seniors will do the egg filling again this year. They are planning to do a memory plaque and memory for Artie Keys, in memory of Artie Keys, when the new trees are planted at the center. And lastly, the Girl Scouts were planning to send Valentine's Day cards to the senior center members. So sweet. They had a heart health talk scheduled for yesterday, hands-on CPR class scheduled for March 12th, and an Art of Tea class scheduled for March 27th. They are also scheduling fire drill, active shooter drill, first aid measures, and security camera installation in the coming months. The next meeting will be March 14th, 2024. The Zoning Board of Adjustment. The Zoning Board of Adjustment will meet Wednesday, February 21st. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Utilities, Buildings, and Grounds, Councilwoman Judy Cusick.
Thank you, Council President Gilman. Happy Thanksgiving, right? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Just a quick fun fact, Worcester, Massachusetts resident Esther Howland received an English Valentine, which inspired her to design her own. So Valentines are originally from my hometown of Worcester, Massachusetts. True dat. Congratulations to Mary Ann Carey, Design Review Board, Alt 2, and Craig Chikari, Board of Public Works. He'd be so mad at me if he heard me say that. So Craig Chikari. The report tonight, Planning Board, Shade Tree Commission, and Board of Public Works. Planning Board will not meet on the 20th of February. The meeting was just canceled a few hours ago. On the meeting on the 6th, the reorganization was conducted, and there were 2 waiver applications, both approved. And for new business, as Council President Kilman highlighted, there was a presentation regarding the Ramsey Fire Rescue OEM complex. I want to congratulate Mike Palumbo, Roger Iorio, Steve Strollo, Brian Garbaz, and Christian Grisoni for their appointments and their commitment to serve. Our Shade Tree Commission last met on the 18th of January, 2024. The next meeting is tomorrow on the 15th. There's information on our borough's website regarding our shade tree. On February 1st, I participated in training with 4 of our newly appointed commissioners, Melissa Quast, Jim Lewis, Brian Dillon, and James Kennedy, along with our arborist and Jim Truth, our shade tree coordinator. For the Ramsey Board of Public Works, it last met on the 22nd January. The next meeting is February 26th. I welcome Sean Till as a full-time employee for the DPW. I will again touch on the lead service line replacement project. The Board of Public Works continues planning regarding NJDEP's lead service line replacement legislation. The project requires that all lead service lines served by the water system be replaced by the year 2031. The LSL replacement program, Phase 2, H2M, our consultant and contractor, is working with Ramsey for the next phase of the replacement program, which will include test pit excavation and replacement of discovered lead service lines to be performed in the spring and summer of 2024. And also, I would just want to thank our road department with the snow removal efforts during our, I think it was our first official snowstorm of 2024, wasn't it? So thank you very much, Council President, and the roads were in great shape.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. We move on now to Public and Governmental Relations. Councilman Sarah Poppy.
Thank you, Councilman Gilman. First, I'd like to congratulate Mary Ann Carey on her appointment to the Design Review Board and Craig Chikari to the Board of Public Works. Thank you for stepping up to serve our wonderful community. For my report tonight, I have a list of important dates. The Ramsey Journal, yes, we are accepting submissions again through March 8th. The journal is expected to be in mailboxes the week of April 8th. So all organizations have been notified so that they can submit their articles for this spring edition. The Ramsey Chamber of Commerce is holding a networking event at Houlihan's on the 28th at 5:30. Go to the Chamber of Commerce Facebook page or their website to find out information on how to purchase tickets. They had a board meeting last week, and they talked about all the exciting events that they're talking about planning for the spring. The Ramsey Municipal Alliance will hold their next meeting on the 26th of February at 7:30 p.m. The location is to be determined, but most likely the senior center. So you can watch their website for that information or the borough calendar. The Pool Commission will hold their meeting to vote on the member rates. That will be the 21st of February at 7:30 p.m. here at Borough Hall. And the Board of Health did a great job on the 12th of February on their wellness speaker series. They did a presentation on diet, nutrition, weight loss drugs. It was very well attended, actually. There were probably at least 30 people who came to the event at the senior center. So they're doing a great job with their speakers. In March, they'll have Dr. Al Tartini will come in to do his presentation on tick-borne illnesses. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. We move now to Health, Education, and Social Services. Councilman Glenn Popolo.
Thank you, Council President Kilman. Report tonight for Rife. We'll start off with their Valentine's Day dances on 2/16, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus. Basketball is going well at Dater with the times of 1:30 to 3, and that'll go on through March. And they have come up with a event for March 13th will be their art night, which will be held in the Ramsey Community Center. Board of Ed will be meeting tomorrow for our first meeting, so I'll comment on that next at the end of the month. And for Environmental Commission, I'm happy to say the food scrap pilot and compost program is underway and moving nicely. Neighborhood Compost is the vendor we have been using. We've ordered the shed, and in talking to the DPW, we'll house it in the DPW, small enough to be put there, with 2 toters. We have 30 to 35 families that are going to be in the pilot program, which the minimum is about 100 families to have. And this compost, neighborhood compost group has been dealing with Borough of Tenafly and Ridgefield already, so we have a lot of learnings from them. We'll probably do something in March when we get situated with it to have some type of kickoff event or acknowledge around of what's going to happen for this program. So just moving along, which is good. That's all I have for today.
Thank you, Councilman
Yep.
Popolo. Let me correct me if I'm wrong, the Valentine's Rife dance is Friday, the 16th, correct?
Friday the
Right, and
16th, yes.
not tomorrow?
I'm sorry, I said,
All right,
yeah,
okay,
Friday the
just wanted to
16th.
make sure.
Yep.
Thank you very much. And now, our mayor, Deirdre Dillon.
Thank you, Council President Peter Gilman. All right, congratulations and thank you to Mary Ann Carey for being appointed to the Design Review Board, and Craig Chikari for the Board of Public Works. He's very excited about it, and Craig is an engineer by profession, so I know he'll bring a wealth of knowledge to the Board of Public Works. And thank you to the Planning Board for approving the proposed fire rescue and OEM complex last week. I thought the presentation went very well, and it, as it was mentioned earlier, it was well attended, so hopefully people learned a lot. Thank you for the DPW for doing a great job on the snow removal yesterday. Thank you to Councilwoman Cusick and Mr. True for organizing the learning session for the new members of the Shade Tree Commission. And tomorrow night is their first meeting, so I wish them all the best. And I do want to draw attention to Resolution 057-2024. Borough Administrator will probably talk about this as well. But this is opposing the proposed overhaul of the Fair Housing Act. And they're trying to just jam it through the legislation without public comment, without a lot of consideration. Many towns are opposed to it, because it really is unfair to towns like Ramsey that we have consistently fulfilled our affordable housing requirements or obligations, and we have limited locations for new housing. And in addition, the New Jersey Administrative Office of the Courts opposes this because they simply do not have the manpower or bandwidth to handle all these hearings for if there's litigation. So I just want to let everybody know that we're doing this resolution. It was requested by the New Jersey League of Municipalities, I believe, so we're doing it, or we've done it. Thank you. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Borough Administrator, Mr. Bruce Lozay, please.
Thank you, Council President. Just to comment on a few of the resolutions that are on the agenda and a couple other topics. Resolution 51 was the authorization of the driveway permit for 189 South Central Avenue. At the last Mayor and Council meeting on January 24th, the hearing was held on the driveway application regarding 189 South Central. It had been recommended to the governing body from the Board of Adjustment. At that meeting, after the testimony of the applicant and governing body's questions and comments, the application was approved. This resolution, number 51, affirms the vote and the approval from that January 24th meeting. Resolution 52 authorizes the new sewer rates for 2024, as mentioned in Councilwoman Cusick's comments regarding Ordinance 1. On the approval of water rates, the sewer rates have averaged less than a 1% increase over the last 10 years. So similarly to the water, the Borough of Public Works has approved a 3.96 increase for 2024. And this is the resolution confirming that Board of Public Works action. Resolution 53 confirms the appointment of Sean Till as a full-time DPW employee. One of our full-time DPW workers had resigned late last year. The DPW conducted a hiring process to fill the open spot. Sean Till has been a part-time employee with the borough for over 2 years and was recommended to fill the full-time spot. And this resolution confirms his appointment effective February 17th. Resolution 54 authorizes the emergency repair work for Board of Public Works to Mike's Mobile Maintenance for Arrow Road Airstripper Facility Booster Pump. The Board of Public Works had gotten the requisite quote for work on the Arrow Road Airstripper Facility Booster Pump. As these repairs were ongoing, it was discovered that the repairs and work needed on the facility were more extensive than previously known. Given the critical nature of the facility to the board's water supply system, the contract was authorized to complete repairs to return the asset to service and preserve the system's operational integrity. This resolution confirms the award of that work to Mike's Mobile Maintenance. Resolution 55 awards professional service contract to Boswell Engineering for design and construction document services for Grove Street and East and West Oak Street municipal aid projects. The borough had saw proposals from engineers for the design and construction documents for 2 projects the borough had successfully applied for and received municipal aid grants from the state. These grants collectively were for over $371,000 to offset the taxpayer impact for these improvements. This contract is for the design and construction document process for the public bid. Upon completion of a successful bid process, the borough would then enter into a professional services agreement with Boswell for construction, inspection, and contract administration services at that time. Resolution 56 was confirming the Board of Health's appointment of Kelly Sylvester as Secretary of the Board of Health. The Board of Health in January had appointed Kelly as its secretary for the purpose of attending meetings, preparation of meeting minutes, and related tasks for their monthly meetings. This resolution confirms that Board of Health appointment. Resolution 57, as the mayor just talked about, is opposing the Assembly Bill number 4 and Senate Bill number 50, proposing to overhaul the Fair Housing Act in a way that imposes unrealistic obligations with unrealistic deadlines based upon onerous standards. The state legislature is attempting to push through an overhaul of the FHA, the Fair Housing Act, without taking time for input and considered evaluation of its potential devastating impact to municipalities, both financially and through overdevelopment. This resolution from the borough's affordable housing attorney, that also represents many municipalities across the state, opposes the proposed legislation to allow for discussion, debate, and reasoned legislation. This legislation would then be based on the actuality and completion of Round 3 obligations for affordable housing. Seeing the Round 3 impact, rather than just the theorizing from a one-person arbitrator on what Round 4 municipal obligations should be, without knowing the impact of these prior 345 municipal settlements that have not been taken into account yet. There are a couple other items I would just comment on. First off, the 2024 municipal budget. We have a planned schedule for that, in that we would look to, on the next meeting at February 28th, do the budget presentation and the introduction of the 24 municipal budget, and then on March 27th would be the public hearing and vote on adoption of that municipal budget after being advertised. Borough property tax revaluation. The Bergen County Board of Taxation has issued an order at their February meeting for Ramsey to perform a borough-wide property revaluation. This is done when a municipality's town-wide valuation drops below an 85% threshold to current market, where your equalization rate is below 80%. Given the market's upward movement in many of the property segments in the borough and across the county, almost half of the 70 Bergen County towns have received the same order from the county to be implemented on or before October 1st of 2025 for tax year 2026. The borough has met with Appraisal Systems, who's one of the leading companies in this field, and performed the last revaluation for Ramsey that started in 2014, was implemented in 2016. Given that almost half of the county needs to perform this same work, and there are limited firms with the experience available to do this, the borough is looking to move forward quickly with starting this mandated process. We will look to introduce an ordinance at the next meeting to authorize the framework with which to fund the cost of the borough-wide revaluation over a 5-year budget period as the state allows. I'll discuss this process and the proposal further at that February 28th meeting. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bozay. Counselor, any comments?
No report, sir, thank you.
And Borough Clerk, Ms. Bendian?
Thank you very
Nothing
much.
tonight? All right. We have no introduction of new ordinances. We have any unfinished business? Any unfinished business? Any new business? Not seeing any. May we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Happy Valentine's Day. Have a great night.
Thank you.